What is up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here. We are going to be taking a look today at a game called Plantera. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I believe I am. Plantera is a game that you can find on Steam currently 20% off at $2.99. It's actually on sale, like I said, 20% off, so $2.39. So you save an entire, I don't know, like 40 some odd, 50, 60 some odd cents. I don't know. My mathematics skills have kind of atrophied a little bit since I got out of school. That's why we have calculators, right, bros? Anyways, it is available on Steam. It's cheap, $3. I don't know. I'm not sure what I think about the game. And the reason I say that is it's a clicker game. So clicker games kind of have a stigma with them because they're usually just, there to click. That being said, as far as clicker games go, this one's not so bad. It doesn't have anything in there that's like, as far as I can tell, actually, there are 0 microtransactions in this game. I could be wrong, but I don't see them. And without microtransactions, there's no way for you to, more or less get screwed over. So let's get into the game. Let's take a look at it. I've played it for a little while here. Obviously, this is a much more developed setup than what you're going to be dealing with when you get in. You can see I'm level 16 down here in the bottom left. The levels, as far as I can tell from this, basically they give you access to new plants, whether it's bushes, okay, let's just get into it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 different tabs here. There's a 5th tab, and this is something different. I don't understand what all these mean, but you can see they do cost money. Like right down here, money, not a third-party currency that you purchase, which is one of the big differentiations between this and a lot of clicker games that I've seen recently. So, all right, let's go ahead and look at the basics. So when you first start off, you're gonna have crops. That's what I'm gonna call these. I don't know what they're actually called, but we're gonna call them crops. You start off with, I wanna say carrots, but that may not be accurate because this is level 2. Then you go to, I guess, beets, and then pumpkins, and then, I guess, maybe these are turnips? I'm honestly not sure. I guess it'll tell us. Radishes versus turnips. Okay, hey, I was right. I guess beets or something later on. So you plant these, then you have the bushes. So you got, I guess, blueberry, raspberry, cherry, and then, oddly enough, bell pepper. I didn't know bell peppers grew on bushes. I had no clue. I mean, I don't know what they grow on. So, I mean, I knew they grew on something. I just didn't realize they grew on bushes. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with bushes. It's just, I just, when I think of bell peppers, I don't think of bushes. Maybe that's just me. You can see that we're not quite 18 yet, so this is locked out, so we don't know what's here. Then you move to trees. Trees are these things in the background. You start with apple, then pear, then I think these are oranges, and then cherries, and I don't know what we get at 19. And then you have livestock. Start off with chickens, then pigs, sheep, and then really, really obese cows. I mean, like, god dang, that is a fat cow. And you'll notice that, like, flying around here, you get these little butterflies. Butterflies seem to be, like, just a randomized resource that you can click on as time goes on. You click them when they go yellow. They're not always yellow, like this one right here isn't. And then you're going to notice you have these, like, critters running around in the background that are not your crops. These little guys right here, you got to click on, because otherwise they'll steal your stuff and they'll scare your animals, etc., etc. Now you notice that these things will automatically drop if you don't click them. You can also make them drop by clicking them. So for instance, well, let's find one that's about to grow. This one right here, if I click it, it'll fall off. Now these little blue dudes here, they're basically your farmers. If you've ever played any of the other clicker games, you know that they have like default clicking values. So for instance, in most of the games, you'll click, when you first start clicking, you'll get like 1 point. And then you'll upgrade your clicker and then it's 2 points. And then you upgrade your clicker again and then it's like 20 points. And you work on upgrading your clicker. Well, in this, you don't really upgrade your clicker. Your clickers are these little dudes and they just kind of do what they do. And you don't have to do any clicking at all. Obviously, if you click, you can speed things up a bit if you want. But you don't have to. And periodically, you'll get the levels up. So we just hit 17, which gives us a new crop. Is that cabbage? Cabbage. So we have lettuce now, basically. Well, I mean, it's obviously one of you is going to be like, actually, Pyro, lettuce and cabbage are not the same thing. which you're probably right. I really wouldn't know. I'm more of a meat eater than a veggie eater, so I couldn't really tell you the family and the genus and the phylum and all that crap. Actually, that's probably animal, not... Do animals and plants have the same flora and fauna? Do they have the same categorization in the scientific process? I don't know. So since we've unlocked cabbage, we're gonna go ahead and plant a cabbage. Now you're gonna notice cabbage is a little bit cheaper at the moment than our best plant over here, but it ramps up very, very, very quickly. So as time progresses and you get more of them, it's gonna get more and more expensive. This little dude here is just one of the random events. If you click him, you get a lot of money. And basically you get the money based on your level. So as you level up, he gets better. Whoops, he gets better and better. Hopefully that didn't screw up the video. I accidentally clicked off. Okay, so one of the other cool features is, let me find one of my carrots. Boom, boom, boom. And believe it or not, the soundtrack for this game is actually pretty fucking cool. Like I can't stop humming it. It's painfully addictive. It's kind of like the Black Eyed Peas made their own little audio track, and now I can't stop singing it, and it really needs to get out of my head. All right, so I'm not seeing any carrots. Actually, here's a carrot. So we're gonna click delete, and we click right here. And if you click again, you can like kind of cycle between all these things, but we wanna get rid of the carrots. So we're gonna click here, delete, and then we're gonna click here, and hopefully replant it. There we go. So we can do it again. So we're gonna get rid of the carrots next to that one. Just gonna click delete again, click that, delete, boom, and plant that there. So you can see over here in the far right, 17 of 17. That's the maximum number of that cycle of stuff that you can put in based on your current row. You can expand your row for 5,600, and that'll do one side on each side, and you can kind of scroll back and forth. I'm assuming at one point in time this was a mobile game, or maybe it still is, and it's just come to Steam at this point. There we go. Click, 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 click. More clicking. But unlike a lot of clicker games, I don't feel like this one's going to give you, number one, a reason to run an auto-clicker, and number two, it's not going to give you a reason to develop carpal tunnel syndrome, you know, if that's not your thing. All right, so we have 17 of 17 of those little plants. We need to kind of upgrade our bell peppers because we don't have enough. In fact, we are missing a rather large amount of our bell peppers. I guess we'll go ahead and put some of these cherry trees out, and then I guess we'll do some of these. Because it's better to have something here than nothing, I'm guessing. I mean, anything is better than nothing. The problem, though, that we're going to run into is, you know, our guys can't even really keep up with what we're doing right now. So as we add more onto it, it's probably just going to get more and more overwhelming. I mean, you can see we basically had a pile of stuff here. That is a very annoying noise. I'm not going to lie. That is quite possibly one of the more annoying noises I have ever heard in a video game. But yeah, so that's basically Plantera. It does seem that the devs are working on this game fairly frequently. January 31st, there was an update with 8 new achievements plus the hero, which is that little dick bag that we click on as he runs by and makes that really annoying noise. They have a scarecrow coming, which is going to supposedly scare off the birds, which I am really looking forward to, because I don't like clicking on the birds. I think clicking on the birds literally makes me lose brain cells. So I'm going to be enjoying not having to do that. But yeah, I mean, as far as clicker games go, and like I said, you know, clicker games, there's not a whole lot of depth to these. I mean, some of them there is, you know, I mean, if like, what was that one? Was it Hero Clicker? I don't remember. It was the one I got into right before Adventure Capitalist. It was fun because there did feel to be like some back-end strategy based on that versus, you know, active clicking versus passive clicking and modifiers, and then, you know, your heroes and such like that lines. That was kind of cool, but at the same time, you know, at some point in time you realize, I'm not really playing a game here. I'm just sitting back and watching as stuff happens. And, you know, if you're at work, and as awful as that sounds, you know, and if you're at work and you're not going to work, and you're going to play a game, then I guess these are kind of cool to have because it gives you some feeling of, like, you know, you're progressing or something along those lines, which is kind of cool, I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, you know, if you're going to play a game, you know, this might be something I would do while I was editing. You know, like if I'm going to edit my videos or something along those lines, it's kind of nice to have this maybe running in the background. One, because the music is cool, and number two, like I said, it gives you that thing to progress with. The other nice thing about it is, as like many other clicker games, you can get offline and your dudes will continue to do what they're doing for a period of time. So you can see right now, increases the time your hair pros work while you're away from the game. Current time 1 hour. So they will work for 1 hour. Well, if we bump that up, now it's 2 hours. We bump it again, now it's 3 hours. Bump it again, now it's 4 hours. So that will allow you to get further and further away from the game, which will basically, you can leave the game running in the background, or you can just turn the damn thing off and it will continue to run. Obviously, if you leave the game running, then it's going to keep doing its stuff, but, it's going to be taking up CPU cycles, which I think this thing was like a 60 mega install, so I think most people are probably just going to let it run in the background on a secondary monitor or something along those lines, if that's your thing. But yeah, I mean, for $3, I don't know. I'm going to say it's probably worth it if you're into clicker games. If you're not into clicker games, it's a clicker game, you're going to hate it. So, don't do it if you're not into clicker games. If you like clicker games like Adventure Capitalist and things like that, and you want something that isn't quite so money whorish, and by isn't quite so money whorish, I mean not even at all. Yes, it's not free to play, so technically, I guess one could make an argument that something like Adventure Capitalist or something along those lines is free, so at least you can get into it and you don't have to spend money. But at the same time, you spend the money here and now you don't have to get nickel and dime for all those modifiers and boosts and such. Then again, there's going to be those people who like those modifiers and boosts. I mean, obviously, there are people who like them because otherwise they wouldn't exist. So I guess it's kind of a toss-up. If you're looking for a complete $3 free option, once you pay that $3, you never have to pay anything else, then this is going to be the clicker for you. And I don't know how far up this goes. I don't know how high up this goes. At what point does it? Is there a spot where you can basically hit the edge of the world? I don't know. I've only got maybe an hour or two invested. These are supposed to be first impression videos, so I do my best to kind of get a look for it, and then move on. So I will say, for me personally, after the review process, I probably won't play the game much because, I'm not the biggest fan of clicker games. Every once in a while, they'll grab my attention for a little while, but I usually get bored of them pretty quickly. So let me know what you guys think in the video description below. Clicker games something you like? If you're into clicker games, is this one that you're interested in? Let me know. As always, if you like this video, please slap that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next clip.